court is now in session. Today we hear the case of the people versus Mr. Poluto, a notorious figure behind some of the worst air pollution our planet has ever seen. Prosecutor Cleaner, you may begin.
Jury, my greatest enemy, it's an honor to present myself. I am Prosecutor Cleaner. Thank you, Your Honor. The evidence against Mr. Poluto is overwhelming. I present you Exhibit A, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, methane, and also chloromethane. Molecules that have plagued our skies. Their liquid structures, as you can see, reveal their true nature. Look at sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, both bent and polar. Also, methyl chloride, it's no better, lurking with its tetrahedral polar claws. These molecules conspire, engaging dipole-dipole interaction and dispersion process.
Objection, Your Honor. This is nothing more than a molecular profiling case. Yes, my client CO2 is linear and nonpolar. And yes, CH4 is a humble nonpolar tetrahedron, minding its own business. Both have dispersion forces. But are we really going to judge them based on their geometry and polarity? They do not represent any harm in comparison to dipole-dipole forces.
That's a lie, and you know it.
Prosecutor, please continue.
He's guilty of all these accusations. Let's start with the CO2, a silent, linear, non-polar killer that builds up in enclosed spaces, displacing oxygen from the air, leaving only its main principle, CO2. This evidence shows how dangerous of a pollutant it has become. Also, methane, a non-polar greenhouse gas, with its tetrahedral geometry and weak intermolecular interactions, doesn't form strong bonds and disperses easily, contributing massively to global warming. I present you the most dangerous duo of them all: sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. Mr. Poluto created them to the burning of fossil fuels.
Wait, but you must understand.
Silence. You're not in order. Please continue, Prosecutor.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying before, these troublemakers, SO2 and NO2, are billions, with bent molecular geometries that make them dangerously reactive. Their dipole-dipole interactions are like a bad romance. They are attacking and wrecking everywhere they go. Let's start with SO2. It is like an overachiever. It just can't help but overreact. Mix it with water and voila, you got sulfuric acid. And let's not forget, boiling at a point of 337 Celsius makes it thick as a syrup, thanks to all that hydrogen bonding. And there, it is NO2, the less talkative, but equally deadly accomplice. It teams up with water and creates nitric acid. This one, it's got a planar structure, and it's a bit of a lightweight with a boiling point of 83 Celsius, but don't let that fool you. It's just as dangerous, leaving a trail of destruction wherever it goes.
Objection, Your Honor. My client's SO2 and NO2 are just misunderstood molecules. I mean, sure, they've got bent geometries, but who doesn't have a few quirks? And yes, they are reactive, but isn't that a sign of enthusiasm? Let's talk about SO2, shall we? All it wants is to be the life of the party, forming sulfuric acid. It's the social butterfly and on the molecular world. And NO2, well, it's just doing its job, making nitric acid and keep things excited. These molecules aren't criminals. They're just doing what they were born to do. They are not evil. They're just reactive.
Oh, come on. Being reactive, it's not a personality. It's just a hazard. These two are literally raining out of parade. Acid rain, that's what it is. We can't just let them hook because they're enthusiastic molecules.
Well, in that case, I agree. Those molecules are following their nature, but there is united harm. I need a solution to prevent their nature from hurting others. While you are on that, I need an explanation on why silica dust and soot are accusing my court today.
Your Honor, while these substances may sound bad, Mr. Poluto did not create them. Factories, cars, power plants. If people did not demand energy, he wouldn't even exist.
Yes, that's right. How can this be my fault when people have been investing more and more into industrialization and less into renewable energies?
Silica dust has been causing havoc. As it gets in the air, silicosis causes severe breathing problems and increases the risk of lung infections. The London dispersion forces are strong in this one, They prefer to disperse in the air willingly to affect your lungs.
Objection!
You may proceed.
They enter unwillingly. Once they were solid compound of strong covalent bonds within a robust crystalline network. But now, well, due to human activities and demanding manufacturing and energy production, they have been broken down into particulate matter, combining with gases. My client is the victim here.
As are my clients. You're tangiversing the story.
Your clients are the recent suit Isabel here. If only they completed the combustion of organic matter and materials of the carbon molecules, soot wouldn't even have to exist. Look at the poor guy. He was once strong, fierce. Now, it's an intermolecular force. It's a weak London dispersion.
Enough! As I can see, fighting won't get us anywhere. A solution must be found to help both. Prevent people from inhaling dangerous gases and from innocent molecules reacting to other molecules.
Your Honor, in the defense, I may argue that Mr. Polluto it is a byproduct, but doesn't excuse himself from the damage that he's causing.
Okay, I get it. I have done some harm, or maybe even more than just some harm. However, the truth is I never intended it to go this way. So, Your Honor, this is actually unfair that I'm the only one getting punished here, as I'm not the only responsible for this problem.
Your Honor, we cannot just throw Mr. Polluto away. Instead of pushing him, why not reform him?
Well, I had this idea for a while now, which is the use of zeolites. Zeolites can attract and purify these harmful gases throughout polarity. And how they actually work is they have a negatively charged pole, which is made by aluminum, mainly. And what it does is it attracts positively charged ions or polar substances. And this makes it ideal, for example, for carbon dioxide.
Well, indeed, these are solutions. Activated carbon can absorb CO2, preventing it from poisoning the air. Zeolites can trap methane, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And with the push of renewable energies, HEPA filters can also capture these solid particles. And about acid rain, cleaning air pollution will also help as a solution, as SO2 and NO2 are the main air pollutants. All of this means that we can reduce Mr. Polluto's presence even further. However, this won't be as easy, as HEPA filters have limited enough effectiveness, and other viable options, as catalytic converters, are quite expensive. So even if we go over through all the solutions, and might work, but also the high prices are still a major disadvantage of all of this.
The prosecution raises a good point, as does the Mr. Polluto and his lawyer. With the right technology, we can significantly reduce Mr. Polluto's impacts on the environment and the world. After hearing all the sides, the court finds Mr. Polluto guilty, but he will be given an opportunity to reform. We will reduce his presence through clean technology, renewable energy, and sustainable practice. Court is adjourned.
So the actual problem is not the existence of these kinds of pollutants, as for example with Mr. Polluto, but it's actually how as a society we are so invested into these outdated methods on how to clean the air and how to battle these pollutants.
We have the tools to fix this. Technologies like carbon capture and better regulations can help us reduce pollutants before they even enter our atmosphere.
Ultimately, all of this is also a matter of responsibility. As a society, we must shift into these new sustainable options that protect our future generations from all of these harmful effects of contamination and pollution.
At the end of the day, it's our health and the environment is indispensable.